Hey. Hey everyone, it looks like y'all are having a good time.
Yes.
Can y'all see me okay?
Yes.
You're on the TV.
Oh. I feel famous.
You are.
Yay! I'm so excited. I am so honored to talk to you guys today. I feel a little bit, I don't know, out of it today. I just got back from both my kids' sports games. They won. Trey won his soccer game. It was at 8:30 this morning, and Grace won her volleyball game. It was a really exciting volleyball game, so it was fun. But I'm glad to be here with you guys and kind of tell you guys a little bit of my story, and then go into a little bit of training so I can maybe hopefully inspire you or help you in your business. So I know all of you are leaders because you are there and you earned this trip with Jamie and Kim. And so congratulations on that.
Jim and Jim. Yeah, it was Brad earlier. You better be jealous.
I love it. I love it. Y'all are fun. How many up there are there of y'all?
15.
How many?
15.
Wow, that's so awesome. I can't wait till I can do this for my team. I haven't gotten bold enough yet, and I haven't worked it out in my schedule yet to where I can do something like that, but I think it's super awesome. And there's nothing like getting together with your team and bonding and training and being together and motivating each other. There's nothing like it. I truly believe that. So anyways, I think y'all know my name, but I'm Sapphire Ambassador, and I have been doing this business. October 27th of this month will be 3 years that I've been doing Plexus, and I'm just so honored every single day to wake up and to think that God has blessed me in this business and blessed so many others because of my decision to say yes to Plexus. So I started 3 years ago. I don't know if a lot of you know my story, but I worked in other multi-level marketing companies before. My goal was to help my family out financially. You know, Brad and I have been married 14 years, and we made some silly decisions as a young married couple. We got into debt fairly quickly. When we first got married, we got into a house. We loved it. It was in the Woodlands. It was in a prime spot, you know, where we lived in the Houston area. We just kind of wanted to be like everyone else, you know, and we wanted to live like everyone else, whether we could afford it or not, you know. And so we got into a house that we really couldn't afford. And so we accrued a lot of debt. We were very happy in that home, but, you know, being happy and getting into debt is just it's not a good thing for your marriage. We struggled financially, and then that turned into struggling in our marriage. You know, we fought all the time about money. I would go to bed crying every night. How are we going to pay this bill? How are we going to pay that bill? So I worked at a bridal shop at the time. I was a consultant. I have a Bachelor of Arts degree in fashion merchandising and a minor in business. And so I worked at a bridal shop at the time when we were living in the Woodlands. And so I was working there full time out of college, making fairly good money, less than a school teacher. I mean, I was making about, I can tell you guys, I was making about $24,000 a year as a bridal consultant, working about 6 days a week. Very long retail hours though. I would go into work at 9:30, not get home until 7 o'clock at night. Horrible hours. Not the hours of what I wanted. And so when Brad and I decided to start a family, when we were blessed enough, we actually had fertility issues. I won't go into all that, but, you know, 4 years into our marriage, we decided to start a family, and that's when I had Grace. And then the hours just didn't work for me. With wanting to stay home with her, it just didn't work. You know, going into work at 9:30, not coming home till 7, that doesn't work, you know? And so my desire was to stay at home with her. So I went part-time at the bridal shop. So I only worked on Saturdays, but that was a big deal because, you know, Saturdays were days where we had lots of events like weddings. I missed out on weddings. I missed out on birthday parties. I missed out on anything the family did on Saturday that I was missing out because I had to work every single Saturday. I had to bring some kind of income home. So that's when I made the decision to start delving into network marketing. Guys, if I told you everything I sold, you would laugh your heads off. I mean, I sold makeup, I sold skincare, I sold handbags, I sold other kinds of skincare, other kinds of makeup. I worked for every network marketing company you could ever think of. And the only reason I was doing it was because I wanted to help out financially, but I wanted to do it from home. That's why we do what we do here in Plexus. But unfortunately, with those companies, it didn't work because, for one thing, you had to stock product, which was a pain in the rear. I had product everywhere. Brad just wanted to just throw it all out. You know, you had to, once you had your parties, which took 3 hours out of your night, which is just insane. You know, you had to lug the stuff to the people's house and then lug it back home. And then once they place their order, you're on the computer till midnight, putting in their orders and, you know, all that stuff. And so it was just not, it wasn't good. It was not good for my family. It was not good financially. I was pouring all the money I made back into what I was, you know, selling, which was so silly. And none of those companies, and the reason I tell you guys this story too, is none of those companies had the compensation plan like Plexus had. So going forwarding into when I was introduced to Plexus, I was still at the bridal shop part-time. I was still working on Saturdays. So it was a good thing though, and I'll tell you why it was a good thing here in a second. But when I saw Melissa posting on Facebook about Plexus, I will just admit I was annoyed. I was like, what? There is no way that you're drinking this pink drink, you're making money, and you're losing weight. There's no way. I mean, it's just too good to be true. You know, but I knew Melissa. Melissa and I had actually worked in network marketing together before. So I trusted Melissa. She had a great sphere of influence. And so I was like, okay, you know, I'll look into it more. Still annoyed, of course. My mom, my sister, and my mother-in-law were not as hesitant as I was, and they started the products before I did. So Melissa reaches out to me because we're friends, and she was like, Laura, seriously, you need to, one of y'all needs to sign up. You or your sister, one of y'all needs to be smart. Well, my sister did not want to have anything to do with network marketing. She hated it. And so I signed up because I knew I was going to have 3 customers. I was going to have my mom, my mother-in-law, my sister. So I signed up, and I really did want to lose weight, but I knew it was going to be a good business opportunity. And I had to really, really convince Brad that this was going to be the thing that was going to work this time. But I signed up on his birthday. October 27th is his birthday. And I signed up on his birthday, and he was not happy with me. So he's like, you're not spending a lot of money. Get the cheapest products. I don't even care. He knew it wasn't going to work. He already had in his mind it wasn't going to work. So he said, get the cheapest welcome pack. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll get the cheapest welcome pack. So I did. I signed up on his birthday. And after I signed up, you know, I basically started taking the products. My welcome pack came in very quickly. They started taking the products. Loved the pink drink. Loved the way it made me feel. I loved the fact that, you know, I wasn't craving sugar as much. And so I fell in love with the product. And I think that's what helped me so much. And that's what I always tell my team is the first thing that you have to do is you have to fall in love with our products, okay? And you have to find what you're passionate about. So I was passionate about the pink drink. I don't even think I had started the probiotic and BioCleanse the first week or 2. I was just so excited about the pink drink. Well, this is the good thing about working at the bridal shop. So I go in on Saturday, I've got my pink drink, and I'm shaking it up and I'm drinking it. And I worked with about 13 or 14 other girls about my age. Some of them were younger and some of them older. But shaking up, drinking it, happy as can be. They're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, you know, I'm drinking my pink drink. I feel good. At that point, I had lost about 3 inches and probably about 4 pounds. And I just felt so good. And so I told them, I was like, guys, listen, you know, I've done this, I've done that. It gives me energy. I feel amazing. I can take care of my kids. I'm not taking naps in the afternoon anymore. I feel so good. They all wanted it. Every single one of them. I'm at the computer until 6 o'clock that night, signing them all up. I didn't even give them a choice. I'm like, retail, you can sign up, but you want a discount. So let's sign you up as a preferred. I was doing it for them. I was like, preferred customer, and I was signing them all up. I had 10 or, I think it was 10 or 12, because the owner signed up to preferred customers on that Saturday alone. In one day, I had 12 customers. And that's the good news about me working at the bridal shop. So I was signing them up. They were so excited to get started. And so that very first month, I mean, I was already at way past my goal. Melissa was like, get to 500, you'll get 25. We didn't understand it. Not even Melissa when I first started. I mean, it was very new. You know, we didn't really even understand. She just said, I know if you get to 500, you know, you'll get 25% commissions. I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely getting to that. And I, of course, surpassed that because there was not one person I was not telling about this product. I was so excited about it. So my very first paycheck was like $1,300. So, you know, Brad was like, hello, this is crazy. He didn't believe it at first. That's when we got paper checks. You know, I don't know if you guys have been in it long enough to when y'all got paper checks, when it was actually written on the side of Plexus Worldwide. When we got our first Plexus paycheck in the mail, it said $1,260 and something cents. And I looked at Brad and I said, we got to send this money back. We felt like we were stealing from the company. Like seriously. I was like, what in the world? I just got paid $1,200 for what? Like sharing these products. Like, and the cool thing about it was I was pouring nothing back in. I'd spent $34.95 and paid $100 for a welcome back. Like seriously, it was a no-brainer. And Brad was like, this is crazy. And it took him a while because he was in shock. We were both in shock. And it took him a while to realize, wow. And until I got that second check, that third check, and the checks kept going up and up and up, he was like, okay, this is the real deal. This might be the thing that's going to work for us. So of course, you know, I am like sharing with everyone. I had, you know, I've got such a long story and I could go into my entire story, but you know, my sister was skeptical about network marketing, but she was my third ambassador that signed up under me. I got her to sign up. One of my neighbors, Tanya Maddox, who I grew up with, known her for a long time, she didn't even try the products. She was like, Laura, you're doing so good. Because I was sharing on Facebook. I was sharing everywhere. She was like, you're doing so good. I don't even care what the product tastes like. I'm just going to start. I want what you have. I want this business that you're doing. So she signed up. She was my first ambassador. It was like, I don't even know, 2 weeks after I signed up. So she was excited. I got all these people excited. My business grew very, very quickly. And some people, when you say quickly, some people like, goodness, I think it's Andrea Mitchell that went diamond. She went diamond in like what? Or emerald. She went emerald in like 5 months. Is that right, Jamie?
Something like that. I know her and Celeste went emerald in 4 months. And I think Andrea was like 5 or 6.
Something like that. So I say my business was fast, but you know, it just depends what you think is fast. But I mean, I went senior Ruby in 6 months, which to me was quick because I knew nothing about building a team. The other network marketing companies that I worked for, it was all about selling product. You know, it wasn't about getting people to do the business with you. And so I was so like overwhelmed. I was like, okay, I've got all these people. What do I do with them? Like, it took me forever to figure out how to trade and how to do it. You know, but the number one thing I think, the reason that I was successful, and I hate saying that because it sounds like I'm bragging, but I think was successful was duplication. I was taking what Melissa was doing and I was duplicating it. I wasn't using her. You know, I didn't reach out to her much, you know, but I was duplicating what she did. And I will tell you guys, I was not confident. The last thing, I do not like talking in front of people. It's not my thing. I'd much rather be in the background. I'd much rather just stay back and let other people do it. So I could have easily just kind of ridden that. Melissa's an amazing trainer. She truly is. Like, it's her gift. Like, y'all know that. You know, she can speak. She is a trainer. She is a teacher. She knows how to speak in front of crowds. And it just was not my thing. It took me a while. I don't even remember. I think I was senior gold when I started doing my own trainings. But that was like February of 2014. But I'll tell you what, when I started doing my own trainings, that's when my business took off. Because it's when the people under me started believing in me as a leader. And they started duplicating what I was doing. And so that's a little bit what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about, I kind of have ADD. I kind of am all over the place when it comes to like trading and saying stuff, just because there's so much that I could teach you guys or so much that I could tell you guys. But I'm really just going to kind of tell you guys what has worked for me in my business. And I hope that that helps you, because I think that's the best way to learn, is just learn what other people have done, you know? So that's kind of what I'm going to talk to you guys about today, is my journey and how I did it. And so I will say that in the beginning, and I think the reason that I sat at Senior Ruby for so long, which I didn't tell you guys this part, but I sat at Senior Ruby for 10 months. And I think I would have gone Emerald a lot quicker if I would have done things a little differently. And I think one thing that I think has changed me as a leader is equipping others to be leaders instead of enabling them. I am a very, very good enabler. Like, I am like the best. I enable my children. My daughter does not make her bed. She does not do her laundry. She does not do dishes. She's 10 years old. She really does not lay a hand on anything in this house. Like, she doesn't, the thing is, I have a really hard time. I think I can do everything better. Obviously, she's 10, so yes, I can do everything better than her. I just have more experience at it when we say that. So I don't let her, she doesn't do anything. And that is a very bad thing in this household, because I get stressed. So she doesn't do anything. She doesn't pick up her stuff, which I'm getting better about. But the reason I tell you guys this is I was the same way with my team. I wasn't letting my team do anything. I was doing all the trainings. You know, when we had opportunity meetings, I was the one up there speaking. When we did three-way calls, I would initiate the calls. I would do the calls. And guess what? I was tired. I was exhausted. And guess what? I wasn't training leaders. I was enabling them. So they were not learning anything. They were like, you know what? We're going to do Laura's going to do a training. Y'all come and watch Laura's training. When all the while, they were senior gold ambassadors that could have been doing their own trainings, you know? So that was the number one thing that I changed in my business. I think that has helped me, is I started equipping people instead of enabling them. And I'll give you guys a quick story about that. I have one girl on my team that sat at Silver Ambassador for, goodness gracious, a year and a half or 2, I think it was 2 years. She sat at Silver, so frustrated, wanted the business so bad. I didn't know how to help her. I really didn't. I mean, she had great influence over people. You know, she didn't work, you know, and so, you know, I was like, how do I help this person? I want to help them. You know, she always came to me. The one thing that I did that helped her, actually 2 things that I did. So we started implementing three-way calls about 6 months ago. And I don't know if you guys, Jamie, do you guys implement three-way calls at all?
Yeah, we try.
Okay, so I did a three-way. So basically, she called me over to her house to help her with the three-way call. I knew she could do the three-way call. I knew she could do it. But she called me over there, and I said, you know what? I'll come over. I'm going to do this one three-way call with you. But after that, I got tough. And tough love is not my thing. I am not tough love. But I said, after this, you're going to start doing your own three-way calls with your team, because I know you can do it. So I did a three-way call with a girl. It was a 30-minute call. And what we do on three-way calls is I interview the person on the call. And I just ask them what their goal is. This was actually a person that actually had already signed up. So she was brand new. I think she had signed up that day. And so we went over like what she expected in Plexus. What were her goals? What were her health goals? What were her financial goals? And she just poured out. She's like, I need to make this much money. I mean, she gave me a number. She's like, I need to make $500 a month. I'm struggling to make my car payment. I guess it's a $500 car note. We get a free Lexus. We get to Jules. Anyways, but yeah, she was struggling for that. And I said, okay, well, let's do this, you know? And so we implemented, I gave her goals, and I told her how she's going to do that. I told her how many customers she would need to get to be able to make that amount of money, where she would need to be. And so basically, just from doing that call with her, going over her goals, how to get there, it enabled Kelly, this leader that I'm telling you about, to go out and do her own calls because they're easy, guys. I interview them. I write down what they say. Okay, so you interview them. You write down what they say. Okay, your goal is this. You have 2 children at home. You want to stay home with your kids or whatever they say. Okay, and you're writing it down. The reason you write it down is because you want to make sure that they know that you are being genuine and you are being intentional. And so you're writing it down. So what you're doing is you're being an active listener. And you're going to go back and you're going to go, okay, so you said you need to make $500 a month. And you go back and you tell them what they want. And so you reiterate what they want. And so then you're going to help them with that. And with the 3-way calls too, they're very effective. This girl actually got off the call, went and made her first post on Facebook. And now she's like 2 people away from gold. So she's actually implementing the 3-way calls because we did it with her. So it's very effective. It's very duplicatable because the reason it is because you're getting, like Kelly got me on a call. Okay, Kelly really didn't have to do anything. Kelly just got me on the call. So I did all the work and Kelly just sat there and watched me. And now Kelly's going to get her team and she's going to get on the calls and then her ambassadors are going to be on the call. Do you see how that works? Do you see how that's duplicatable? So 3-way calls changed our business. September was a rough month. I'm not going to lie. It was rough for our team. So, 3-way calls were not as much as they were in July and August because we were just struggling with back office stuff. I'm just going to be honest. But 3-way calls are very effective. That was one thing that changed her as a leader, okay? The next thing that changed her as a leader is I put out a message to all of I have a leaders group on Facebook, okay? So it's all my gold and above ambassadors, and Melissa has this too. But I put a message out, and I got bold, and I said, I lead trainings all the time, Zoom trainings, new ambassador trainings, all of this. I want one of our leaders to lead one of our trainings, new ambassador trainings. It was like crickets. People were like, why would we want to do that when you do it? I'm thinking, come on, people. Kelly was the only one, this girl that I'm talking to you guys about, was the only one that piped in and said, I'll do it. I'll do the new ambassador training. I was so impressed. I was like, thank you, Kelly. So she took a lot of pressure off me. I gave her a week to study up, know what she was going to do. And new ambassador trainings, guys, anyone can do it. You have the PowerPoint. You have all the information that you need. You can watch it. It's outlined for you. You can do it. So she did a new ambassador training for my team. Okay. She was super nervous. Okay. She got her way out of her comfort zone. She did not want to do it, but she did it. It lasted about an hour and a half. She did an amazing job. Everybody on the team rallied for her. They were like, you did awesome. And what it did was it gave her the confidence to start doing her own trainings for her team. Once she started this, guys, I'm not even kidding you. She went from silver to gold in 1 month because of these trainings. She just hit senior gold last night. Why? What was the difference? What helped her? There was 2 things. Equipping her as a leader. I said, no more. You're going to be your own leader. You're going to start doing your ambassador trainings. You're going to start doing your 3-way calls. You're going to start equipping and motivating your team. No longer will I do anything else for you. You are going to step up as a leader. It changed her. It changed her mindset. It changed her. It gave her a confidence, a boldness to help her team and to grow. And she did. And now her team is duplicating her. And so I will say that she's one that kind of branched out, and I will help any of my leaders on my team if they come to me. But I will say this, and I know that you guys will agree with me. It's so hard to keep up with everyone, And so I tell my team, if you need me, if you need my help, you have to reach out to me because I have 3,300 people on this team. And so Kelly did. She reached out to me a lot, and it paid off. And now Kelly is her own leader. She has her own wings and she is flying. And that is why, is because she has been equipped to be her own leader. I did not enable her anymore. Now, I will say there are some people that I'm still working on. My sister's one of them. She is so content with where she is. She really does not have any desire to be a jewel. She doesn't really want the status of it. Her husband is really good at his job. And so she really doesn't really have any reason to become a jewel. But I told her, I said, Carrie, you need to find, and this is one of the first things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I told you guys I had ADD. But the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is if you have not defined your why for your team and you have not posted it for your team, you need to do it. And it could be different from when you first started. My why when I first started was different. I wanted to pay off debt. You know, Brad and I had accrued so much debt, going back to my story. That was my very first goal, and I wanted to attack it. I was going to do anything and everything I could to help our family pay off that debt. And I will say that I did. I reached every goal I needed to reach. And for the first year and a half of my business, every single Plexus paycheck went towards debt. We did not enjoy any of that money because a lot of people were like, ooh, what are you going to do with your next, senior Ruby paycheck because you're making so much money? I'm like, paying off debt, because that's what our goal was as a family, was to pay off that debt. And I didn't get to enjoy that money at first, but that's okay. I mean, Dave Ramsey will tell you, I don't know if I have any Dave Ramsey fans. Any Dave Ramsey fans? He changed our life. He absolutely changed our life. He changed our marriage. He changed the way we saw money, the way we looked at money. Money is not for us to store up things. And if you don't have the money, don't swipe the credit card. It's not there. We didn't have money. We thought we did, because we had a credit card. It wasn't there. And this isn't to preach to you guys about how to do with your money, but it's important, especially when you're running a business like Plexus, because you guys are going to gain wealth because Plexus gives us that opportunity, but we have to be responsible with that wealth. And so for the first year and a half, it all went to debt. And I will say a year and a half, we paid off every single bit of that debt. That was our biggest victory in this business, was paying off that debt. Okay, so that was my why for a year and a half, and my team knew it. They rallied behind me. If your team knows your why and they know your heart, my team knows my heart. They know I love people. They know I love the Lord with all my heart. They know that my desire is to serve Him while serving others. And so when your team knows your heart and they know why you want to do this business, they will rally for you. You don't want a team that just sees you, you get a paycheck and you're going to go out and you're going to buy the next big thing. You're going to go out and buy the next TV or the next big computer or whatever. They want to see that you're going to do good with it. And so my team knows now. I had something come up yesterday. And so I'm always reevaluating my why. I'm always reevaluating why I'm doing this business. And so now Brad and I have a new why. Our why is beyond ourselves. It's beyond paying off debt, even though that was a great why. It's beyond ourselves. It is so that we can be a blessing to other people. So now that we have paid off our debt, you're probably wondering, what do we do with those paychecks? Because Sapphire paychecks are great. Well, we do what we give over and abundantly to our church. We give more than we've ever been able to give. And, God blesses that. And another thing that we do, and we teach our children, is we're saving. We are putting money away. We have to think about the future. You have to. And so we're putting away money. My team knows that. They know that we tithe. They know we give back, and they know that we're saving our money. Of course, we do spend money. I'm not saying we don't spend money, but the one thing that I shared with my team yesterday that is important in going back to sharing your why is Brad and I do Meals on Wheels on Friday, and that's part of our time freedom. That's part of the thing that we love about Plexus, is that Brad and I can volunteer together. It's always been our heart that we can volunteer and serve our community. So on every Friday morning, we go and we do Meals on Wheels. And we get to serve the elderly. So it's 60 and above is who we serve. And most of them don't leave their house. They're either very ill or very elderly. Like there's a 93-year-old man that we go see that's just lonely. You know, he doesn't, honestly, I don't even know if he eats the meals. He's lonely and he just wants to see someone. So we go and we visit him and we get to spend time with him. And then there's another one that's 96 that he's hilarious. He cracks us up every time. And they're curious. They're like, how are you both here? You know, don't y'all work? I'm like, yeah, we work. We work from home, and we have this amazing business where we can still do this and serve you guys. So anyways, we went to a house of somebody that we've served for 4 years, and he's actually very hard of hearing, cannot hear very well at all. And then his wife just had a stroke. And so they are struggling. They're struggling financially. They're struggling with their health. And he just shared his heart. Not that he doesn't know what Brad and I do. He doesn't know what we do. He doesn't know, you know, our financial situation at all. But he shared his heart. He's like, our electricity was cut off. I can't afford to go get oil in my truck. He's probably about 75 years old. And my wife needs to have surgery, but our health insurance has changed and we don't know how we're going to pay for it. Both of us in our hearts knew exactly what we needed to do. And so it didn't even cross our minds. Before, 3 years ago, we would have been like, okay, I'm so sorry. We'll be praying for you. We don't even blink anymore. We're like, we got to give him money. We have to. We have to bless him. We have to bless his family because we have been blessed. So I shared that with my team. I told them, this is what we did. This is what we're doing. This is why we do this. And they know my heart. And it's so important that your team knows your heart. It's so important that your team knows your why, because it's going to not only drive you, it's going to drive them to help you and support you. And then it's going to drive them to have a powerful why and have a why that's beyond themselves. So important. If you have not done your why for your team, go reevaluate your why you do this business. Have your team reevaluate their why. I just posted a training that we did with Jill Renfro, did a training for us on her why. Like, it was an hour training on her why. I don't know if you guys know Jill Renfro. Her why, oh my gosh, it will bring you to tears. She was not going to take no for an answer of bringing her husband home from the oil field. She missed him and she wanted to bring him home, and she was going to do anything in her power to bring him home. And she did. October of 2015 is when she went Emerald, and she did. She brought him home and she retired him. And her story, I shared it, Jamie, I shared her Zoom call on Team Eikenhorst. Did you guys see that?
When did you share it? I haven't seen it. I've heard her.
It was back in March when if you will remind me, Jamie, will you remind me to share it with you guys, because it's so powerful.
Yes.
And I really want you guys to see it. And the thing is, guys, your team, their why is what's going to drive them. If they forget why they're doing this business, they'll stop doing it, because they're not motivated by anything. She was so motivated to bring her husband home. She was not taking no from anyone. She was not going to take no from her team, not meeting their goals. She was not going to take no from getting a new customer, getting a new ambassador. She is bold. And I want to share that with you guys, because it's powerful and you guys will love it. So why? That is like number one important, I think. Another thing that I thought was important to talk to you guys about too, I don't know if have you guys studied this book at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So John Maxwell's amazing. And I will say we're going through this study right now with some of my leaders, but one of my favorite chapters is on the importance of influence and the law of influence. Influence is so important in our business. And I think that people that have influence before they start this business have a better chance of being successful, because people trust you. They trust that what you're sharing is real. They trust that what you're sharing is genuine. And so I had a fairly good amount of influence with people, just because, like, I do BSF, I do Bible Study Fellowship. And so I had that with my church. I had influence with my church. I'm just using myself as an example, but people I think of people like Celeste Quinn, you know, that has huge sphere of influence. Jen Hawkins, Sarah Marble, Emily Roberts, our own Melissa Eichenhorst has a huge sphere of influence. And that truly like helps your business because people watch you, people trust you. And you have to remember that, you know, every time you post on Facebook, every time you say something out loud, people are listening and people are watching. And that's why I train my team all the time. You are a Plexus ambassador, okay? When I was in a drill team in high school, my drill team instructor always said to us, you're never not a golden girl. And what that said to us is you're always an influence to someone. You are in a position to where you are influencing people, okay? So what she meant, when you're in that golden girl uniform or when you're out in public, you're not going to be drinking. You're not going to be like everyone else. And yes, okay, there were people in our high school that were drinking at 16, 17 years old, even though it was illegal. You know, so you're never not a golden girl. You're not to kiss a boy in your uniform. It was not okay. And so I bring this up to say, you are never not a Plexus ambassador. How we influence people, what we post on our Facebook page, it can't be negative. It can't be, you cannot cuss. I mean, I have a girl on my team that used a cuss word the other day on her Facebook wall. I screenshotted it to her and I said, this is unacceptable. She's a senior gold ambassador on my team. Unacceptable. She took it down. I don't put up with it because, for one thing, 95% of my team are Christians. They believe in Jesus, you know, and so cussing is unacceptable. You know, it's just not okay. So your influence on people is so important. And so I think that is probably one of my favorite chapters, just because I feel like influence is so important. And he says, if you guys have read it, I'm sure that you heard this part, but let me see if I can get to it real quick. Are you guys having snacks over there? I see y'all munching on something. What are y'all eating?
Nothing.
What did y'all eat?
Food.
Pork, food, cake, cookies, ice cream.
The Plexus diet? No, I love it. That's awesome. Okay, so influence. Where'd it go? Okay, so I love this. The leadership proverb, he who thinks he leads but has no followers is only taking a walk. If you can't influence people, then they will not follow you. And if people won't follow, you are not a leader. That is the law of influence. No matter what anybody else may tell you, remember that leadership is influence, nothing more and nothing less. So it's really like the hallmark of the book, you know, is your influence over people. And one example that I have when I first started my business is I have a friend that wanted to start the products. She had about 15 people she knew that sold Plexus, other people that had talked to her about it and everything. So she came up to me in Chick-fil-A one day. She's like, oh, okay, I want to try Plexus. I'm ready. I've seen your post and I'm ready. And I'm thinking, the first thing I told her was, well, don't you have like 15 other people? Because I knew her pretty well. Don't you have so many other people that sell it that you could buy it from? She said, the reason I'm choosing you is because, for one thing, you're consistent with your posts. You're always posting, and I trust you. I trust you because I know who you are, and I know you're not going to steer me in the wrong direction, and I know you're going to help me. That was huge for me. That helped me so much to know that I had influence over her, and that in turn that I had influence over other people as well. So I loved that. And so influence is huge. So I think that's all I have on that. What else was I going to talk to you guys about? I'm trying to find my other little notebook. Also too, Jamie and Kim, like, I wanted to open this up too, because I know that a lot of us talk a lot, and I'm not one of those that like to talk without you guys interacting with me. I like my team when we have calls, and we do Q&As every Sunday night. And so I want you guys also to be able to ask questions. So if you guys have a question for me that you want me to answer, like if you're curious about something about my journey or you want help with something, like, do not hesitate to ask me questions because I want to answer your questions as well.
There's
What?
Leslie.
Who does?
Leslie Vincent.
Okay.
I want to make sure you can hear me.
Turn on the computer.
So you talked about people who have a big, circle of influence.
Yeah.
What about people who don't? Because I know there's a lot of people who are very interested in the business, but that's their biggest thing is, I don't have a big circle of influence. How do you convince them that they can make this even though they don't have that big?
Yeah, that's such a great question. And it's difficult because like I have somebody on my team that basically she posts all the time. Like she posts about Plexus. She does great things, but the thing is like the reason she doesn't have, and I'm going to get to your question, but the reason she doesn't have influence over people is because she sells 3 or 4 other things with Plexus. People don't trust her. So you have to gain trust with people. And I can't really, I don't know if you guys have an answer for that, but I can't teach someone how to gain trust with people. It's really not something that's taught. It's just something that's learned, I guess, over time. But people have to trust what you are saying is real. And I think the biggest thing, Leslie, is just being a genuine person. Just being genuine with people. Caring more about people than being successful, basically. So most people know that, and my team knows this, that I care so much about them. We pray all the time for their success. But I think, going back to, influence is for people to know that you are being genuine about what you are sharing and that you're not being salesy. I teach my team all the time. I'm like, don't make a sales post, okay? When you post on Facebook, I want either a selfie of you drinking your pink drink, and I want you to tell them how it is helping you or someone you know. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll post, Plexus Slim this, and they'll post a graphic. People don't like graphics. People love to see you. They want to see how it's helping you, okay? Because your audience is following you. And that's one way to, influence people and gain people's trust is tell people how it's helping you. These new live videos, I have not been brave enough to make one on, well, actually I did make one the other night with Grace and her flute. I don't know if y'all saw that. It's pretty funny. But I have not been brave enough, which I'm trying to be brave enough to do it live on Facebook. I've done tons on my team page. But I want to do one on Facebook because I do want people to know, again, why I do this business. And I don't know if I have relayed that to all of my Facebook friends. But, I went from 300 friends when I first started to 30. Now I have like 3,200 friends, I think, on Facebook. And that's some of the way you can tell how you're gaining influence. Is how many followers and how many friends that you're adding every month, I think, too. But I don't know, Jamie, do you have any insight on how you can help people gain influence? I mean, I think it's just something that has to be learned,
I think so, too. And like you said, being honest and genuine.
Yeah.
I find speaking into them that, sometimes people don't believe in themselves.
Right. Yeah. I mean, encouragement. Especially like my team, like I pour into them. Like if I find out that somebody that is their love language, they want to be encouraged, they want to be rooted on, I will pour into them. I'll leave them voice messages. I love the voice messenger on Facebook. Whoever came up with that is a genius. But I'll leave them a voice message and I'll just say, hey, I'm thinking about you today. I'm so proud of you. For whatever they did that day. Maybe they made a really great post. I'm so proud of you for making that post. I know it took you out of your comfort zone, but I know it's going to bless your business and it's going to bless other people. And so, yeah, leaving encouraging messages and being an example. I think for me and my team, I just try to lead by example. And I try to show them that, or I try to be the best example for them that I can be. So maybe like one day I don't really feel like making a Facebook post. Maybe I'm having a down day. I don't look at my Facebook post for my own gain. I look at it when I make a Facebook post that I'm about to bless somebody else and that I'm about to bless somebody on my team. because my team sees my post and they're going to be like, oh, that's a good post. Maybe I could post something like that. They duplicate what their leaders do. They duplicate what their leaders say. And so when you make a Facebook post, don't just think about what it's going to do for you in your own gain. Think about what it's going to do for all the people that are about to read it, and how many people you're going to bless. And be as genuine as you can on your Facebook post. I think Facebook posting, I tell my team all the time, I think it's 95% of the reason of my success, of my business success. God is the #1 reason for my success. But my business success is what I have learned about how to post on Facebook. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but if you follow Jules, if you follow Jamie, if you follow Kim, if you follow me, Aaron, anybody else that you follow on the team, Melissa, 30% of our posts are plexus. 70% are not. You know, we post genuine posts. We still have a family. We still go to church. We still, you know, everything that we still do in our life, we still have a life outside of plexus. And that's how I think that's another way that you can gain influence, is that you post genuinely about your life and not just about plexus. And that's how people will start to trust you. And that's how you can kind of gain influence as well, is make sure people know that plexus is not everything in your life. You know, because for me, it's God, family, then plexus. There is no other way around it. I do not ever get those backwards. You know, and that's something I tell my team. You wake up with God first, you know, because if you don't, oh my God, your day's going to be crazy. Second, family. Spend time with the kids before they go to school. That is my IP. I mean, like, people ask me what I do, what my schedule is like. And I'm like, well, I don't put God first. I pick up my Bible. Then I'm with my family. And then I work my plexus business. It's never backwards, and it never should be backwards. It should always be in that order. And if you ever get out of order, get back in order. So important to stay in order with that. But anybody else have any other questions?
Hey, I'm just going to say, I think a lot of people that don't have, or feel like they don't have a sphere of influence because they're shy, because they don't feel like they can talk to people.
Right.
And when they start and they're just consistent about posting on Facebook and doing the 70-30 or whatever, people start to see that they're being consistent. So I think #1 is consistency. And these people that think that they're too shy to do this business, or don't know enough people, they certainly do know enough people. They're just not bold enough at that point to realize.
Exactly. You're so right about that, Kim. And I think what's really important too, like Jamie, I think, said, is pouring into them. Call them on the phone and just tell them one thing that you feel like they're super, super good at. I have one girl on my team. Oh my gosh, she's a sweetheart. And people love her because she's so sweet and kind, and she loves people. So, you know, I'll call her up and I'll be like, Jody, you're amazing. I'm so proud of you this month. You stepped out of your comfort zone. You're posting on Facebook every day. I just am so, so proud of you. And just pouring into her and building belief in herself, like me building belief in her, helps, you know. And so maybe you have those people on your team that aren't as successful. Maybe they're not adding ambassadors all the time. Maybe they don't have the highest PV. Maybe those are the ones that you need to reach out to, and you need to be like, hey, I want to help you. I noticed that you are super energetic. You have a great friend, you know, you have a great circle of friends. Maybe they just need to be encouraged. I know that's a lot of people on my team too. Like, I had a girl reach out to me today and she said, so sorry that I've been so out of it for this month. And we all have. That's what I wanted to say to her. I was like, I've been out of it too. But you know, she was just like, I've been out of it. My son's been in and out of the hospital. Her son suffers from a very rare disease. And so she's been in and out of the hospital, but she's like, I really want to work my business, but I've just been out of it. And I want to get back into it. So she just needed a word from me, a word of encouragement. You know, guys, we don't know until we reach out what's wrong with, you know, if somebody's lagging in their business and you see a leader that's maybe silver on their way to gold and they've stopped posting on Facebook and they've stopped selling or they've stopped promoting, find out why. There is usually a reason. It's either fear of failure, fear of success, maybe something's going on in their life that you don't know about, but it's so important to build relationships in your business. Reach out to your people and find out about their life. You know, it's this business is not just about me, and me be successful and me reach the next level. It's about relationships. That's what this business is about. And so maybe just you reaching out to them and pouring into them will get them. I've had that happen many times with leaders on my team. I'll just reach out to them and find out what's going on. I don't feel like I'm a good leader. I don't feel like I have the skills to be a leader. And so we'll do leadership training. You know, I'll work with them one-on-one. I'll coach them. Coaching calls. I don't know if you guys have heard of one-on-one coaching calls, but you get with your level ones, people you've personally sponsored, and you do a coaching call. You get them on the phone and you go over their why they're wanting to do this business. You go over their goals, what their goals are. Melanie Allen, y'all know, everybody knows Melanie Allen. She was somebody that we spent, the first phone call we had, guys, was 4 hours long. 4 hours, okay? We talked about everything. We talked about how if she got into this business, she was going to go 100%. She needed to make $2,000 a month to stay home with her kids. She was about to have another baby, and she did not want to go back to work. And literally from that phone call, like, she was all in. She was like, if I do this, I'm all in. And her business did not start really, really strong. But one thing that changed in her business is what I did. She started duplicating. She started reaching out to successful people. And if you know Melanie, she will walk up to you and she will ask you what you are doing to be successful in this business. She made, guys, listen to this. You're going to think this is crazy. And this is not duplicating me because I am not bold and I do not do this. She made 24 live videos for her team while she was in Hawaii. Let that sink in. 24 live videos. And I'm not talking about live videos. I'm talking about training videos. She would walk up to Jules, Emily Roberts, Kara Castaneda, any Jewel, Sarah Marble, Sheila Medina, Sonia Dudley. She would walk up to them and she would be like, 2 minutes. I need 2 minutes. I want you to tell me your top tips. And she videoed it and put it on her team page. That is boldness. It is not duplicating me because I would not walk up to her. I don't even take pictures with people. Like, I don't like bothering people. Like, that's my thing. She does it. And she is super, super successful because of that, because she's bold and she reaches out to people. I'm working on that on myself. I think it's something that I need to work on and I need to get better at. But guys, listen, I'm not above learning from people, from my people that I've sponsored. Melanie teaches me stuff all the time and I sponsored her. She's an emerald and I'm a sapphire. That doesn't mean I can't learn from her, that I can't grow from her. If anything, I attribute not my rank success, but I attribute a lot of my leadership success to her because she has taught me a lot. So and that's one thing I tell my team all the time, don't ever think you're above anything. Don't ever think you're above leadership training. You know, because like this book, I mean, I could read this book 5 times and still learn something new, you know? So just me sitting here with y'all right now is teaching me things. Just hearing myself talk. I'm like, oh, wow, that sounded good. You know, I'm like, wait, I could teach my team that. That sounded really good. So like, I think even like getting on a team call and helping other teams, being one plexus, like you guys getting out of your comfort zone and maybe going to training another team, I think that could help you so much in your own personal growth, you know? And so it's all about getting out of your comfort zone too. Like that's one thing that I was like, oh my gosh. And I have a cozy comfort zone. I have a place on my couch that I sit every morning. I open up my Bible and I get comfortable, y'all, and I don't want to leave for 2 or 3 hours. I'm like, oh, this is so awesome. I love it. I've got my coffee, you know, whatever I'm doing, you know. I don't watch a lot of TV, but that's my spot in the house. Like the kids know it. Trey got up the other morning, just a funny story. He got up the other morning, he was sitting there. And I got up and I was looking at him and he goes, oh, mommy, I'm in your spot, aren't I? let me move. So he moved. He's such a sweet boy. He moved out of my spot. But the reason I tell you guys this is sometimes it's good to find a new spot. Sometimes it's good to find something new. Get out of your comfort zone somehow, some way this month. Because the thing is, nothing grows. Your business is not going to grow inside your comfort zone. I promise you that. I promise you. It's not. And when I made my first live video, those live videos, I don't know about y'all, but for one thing, you look weird, I think. Like, my face just looks crazy, I don't even know. But when I made my first one, I was so awkward. I was like, didn't know like when to start. Nobody was watching. I'm like, I'm talking to myself. This is weird. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody's watching me. And then I got a viewer and I'm like, who's that? And then they would say hi or say they're watching. And I'm like, well, there's one person watching. Should I start talking or should I wait? It's weird. But you know what? You know how I started them? Is I started doing my team contests. Do y'all do team contests regularly on your team pages? Yeah? Okay. Well, I started them that way, and that kind of helped. I don't know why, but I was like, okay, the reason for this live call is we're going to do a team contest, and I'm going to announce the winner on this call. But what's cool is I'll do like some tips first. Like I'll go into a little bit of a training. Like I'll talk to them about belief and how important belief is, and top 3 reasons why building belief in yourself and in the company is so important. And then I'll go, and then what's cool is they'll stay on to the end because they know somebody's about to win a prize, whether it's them or not. They're excited because somebody's about to win something, and everybody loves winning something or watching somebody win something. So the little wheel that we do, I'll do that on a live video. And guys, the first live video, I had 30 people on. It was like 12 in the afternoon. I was like, what are y'all doing? Aren't most of y'all at work? Live video. They were excited. So I've started implementing those. I do a lot. I try to do one a day, on something, motivating them somehow. So if that's something that gets you out of your comfort zone, making a live video, do it. And I teach my team too. I tell my team, I told one of my leaders the other day, I asked her, I was like, have you made a live video for your team yet? She's a Ruby ambassador. And she goes, no, I haven't. I haven't thought about it. I'm like, do it. They will love it. And it'll get you out of your comfort zone. Guys, people don't like to make videos. Do y'all notice that on your team? Is that big on your team? People don't like to make videos? I don't think people like to see themselves talk. I don't. And so it's something that I was like, ugh. And I don't like to hear myself. My sister can't stand it. Like, she will not make a video to save her life. She's like, I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I sound. I'm like, well, if you don't like the way you look or you sound, then I shouldn't like the way I look or I sound, because we sound and look exactly alike. We do. It's pretty funny. But anyways, get out of your comfort zone. I know it's 3 minutes till 2. I don't know if you guys, I can stay as long as you want me to. My kids they're upstairs. They're fine. So I can stay on and answer a few more questions or whatever you want me to do, Jamie and Kim.
I have a question, Laura, because we were talking about it a little bit earlier this afternoon. A lot of us try to implement 3-way calls or implement stuff that we've learned even from this weekend. We were talking about stuff we were planning to implement with our teams. How do you motivate your team to actually do it without being whiny? You have here our top 9 leaders from Kim and the top 9 leaders off of my team. How do you go back and get your own team excited about it and wanting to do that?
Okay. So I think the best way is for them to understand how they work and for them to understand the simplicity of them. I think the best way to learn something is to do it. Okay. So I think maybe what y'all can do is do a small Zoom training on how to do a 3-way call. Maybe you could do a role play, and you could get one of your leaders, and just pretend potential. I think this is how we did it, actually. Get a pretend potential on. I think it was me, my sister, and I think it was Heather King. I can't remember. But we just did a role play, and this is how it works. And what's cool is they got to see how easy it was. Because it really is easy. And people love it, and they're very, very successful. I would say most 3-way calls that I do, when they get off, they're either signing up that day or the next day. And so to create that excitement, tell them how successful they are, and just show them how to do them. Like, they're super easy. I mean, I don't know, like, have y'all not ever done one at all?
Yes. Yeah, we've done it.
Some of us have, some of us haven't. I think, like Kim and I, the people in here are comfortable doing it. It's then like their people or some of our people that are not here.
Okay. Okay. Well, another thing too, like, I don't know if y'all implement this, but one thing that we started doing rather than three-way calls is three-way Zooms. Like, we'll get 3 to 5 people on a Zoom, and it's just like this, and it's 3. I usually try not to have more than 5 because it'll get overwhelming, and you really want to make it about them, and you're asking them questions. And so you don't want to make them long either, because the longer they are, the more people will not want to do them. They won't want to do it. And so Heather King is very successful at three-way calls. She does them all the time, and we did them together at first, and then she kind of just took off with them. And what she tells people is, hey, I want to get on the phone with you with my upline. She's going to tell you all about this amazing opportunity. She's going to share a little bit about the products, and she's going to ask you a few questions, and we want to get you started off the right way. What time can we get you on a call? What time is best for you? And so it leaves it up to them, you know, and it kind of gets them excited, because I don't know, like, for some reason they get excited about talking about it on something like this. I like it because I like the Zooms because you can see people's faces. I don't know about y'all, but I'm like one of those people, like, I like to see the person I'm talking to, you know, I relate more to that. So I think the three-way Zooms are actually a little bit more effective, and I think people are more apt to get on them, and they're super easy to get on them. So those have been very effective for us. And Heather's really good at just kind of wording it right, you know, to get people on them and get her team motivated to do them too, because her team has duplicated them. And so she just tells her team what she says, and then they duplicate that. I don't know. Does that help? I don't know.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, they're really successful. And you know, if you want to tell, you know, a lot of people can talk about the products and talk about the opportunity, but you know, it kind of takes the pressure off of, you know, if I get a level 1, you know, and they've got a potential and they just signed up, it takes pressure off of them. They don't have to know anything. They're putting it all on me, you know, and I obviously have 3 years of experience and can talk about the products and the opportunity. So all the pressure is put on me, and guys, I've done them. I can do them in my sleep. I've done so many. So they're super fun. They're super short. That's one thing I recommend, is do not make them longer than 30 minutes. If it's only one person, I would say 20 minutes, because people, they don't want to be on too long. And okay, so do y'all want to know the things I say in my calls or my?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we do is we go over objections. Because I think that's one thing that people don't want to bring up. They're like, well, why aren't you FDA approved? So we just knock it out of the park. We're not FDA approved because y'all know why we're not FDA approved.
Laura,
Okay?
do you want to just role play one?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
Hi. Well, you're the potential.
I'm right here. Hello.
Okay, so we'll role play. So you want me to be the upline who's in charge,
Yes.
and you're gonna be my ambassador.
Okay. And Anne Marie here is going to be my potential.
And we need a potential. Who?
Anne Marie is my potential.
Emery.
Anne Marie.
Anne Marie?
Yes. 2 words, not like Anne Marie. I know you Texans like to slur your words together.
No. What are you talking about?
But yeah,
Anne Marie? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, Anne Marie. That's awesome. Okay, so Anne Marie is on the call.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Hey guys, how are y'all doing tonight? I'm so glad to have you, Anne Marie. I'm so excited to talk to you a little bit tonight about our products and our opportunity. Tell me, Anne Marie, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I am a mom. I stay at home. I've moved 10 times in 22 years. I tried Plexus because I needed to lose weight and for some health issues in our field.
Perfect. It's so nice to meet you and so nice to talk to you. And I am just so excited to get the opportunity to tell you a little bit about my story and then a little bit about how the products have helped me and how the opportunity has helped me. So thank you, Jamie, for inviting her on the call. And anytime you have questions, just interrupt me. So I started Plexus just like you. I wanted to lose weight. I had gained some weight from my son, 55 pounds actually. From my son, and I had those last 15 pounds that wouldn't budge, and I tried everything. I tried eating better. I tried exercising, drinking a ton of water with lemon in it, all the things that, people told me to do, and it just didn't work. And so I started on Plexus. The pink drink tasted amazing, and I just had such great success. And I was able to lose 13 pounds and 16 inches my first 6 weeks. I was so excited about that, Anne Marie. And I believe in these products. They not only helped me to lose weight, but I will say they had changed my life because of my digestive issues. I struggled with digestive issues for 20 years. I've been in and out of the doctor, gastroenterologist, colonoscopies, colonics, everything you can think of. I was addicted to laxatives. Anything that I could do to go to the restroom, I would try. I'd only go once a week, and that was a good week for me. And I struggled so bad with my digestive system, and I'm so thankful to say, because of the triplex combo, I am completely normal now. I go every day, normal, no longer struggle with bloating, constipation. I no longer go to the doctor. I'm not on any type of laxatives, any of that. And I say that to you because I don't know if you struggle with digestive issues or not, but you probably know people that do. And these products have changed my life. And so I just wanted to share a little bit of my story and what the products have done for me, in turn that hopefully that can help you and other people that you know. Do you know people that struggle with digestive issues, Anne Marie?
Well, actually, I did, and both of my parents have passed from colon cancer.
Wow. I can so relate to that, and I am so sorry for your loss. That is so sad. And I can relate because I had a routine colonoscopy when I was 21 years old, and I had 4 precancerous polyps in my colon at the age of 21 years old, and that's scary for a 21-year-old. I was young, and I didn't want to hear that word cancer at the age of 21. And so I needed something to change my life, and I had to wait 15 years for it. But I'm so thankful for Plexus and what it has done for me. And I don't want that to happen to anybody else in your life, Anne Marie. So I just pray, I know that these products can help you. And I pray that, we can find who they can help that are in your life. So wonderful. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about my story. And I know that they can help you. Tell me a little bit, Anne Marie, what are your goals? Do you have any financial goals?
Because we've moved so often, I really miss providing, helping, contribute to the family. So I would love to be able to help provide for them.
That is wonderful. And Anne Marie, just from sharing my passion and what these products have done for me, I have been able to have a successful business just because of my story and just from helping people. And I have no doubt that you can do the same thing, because for one thing, we have products that work, we have products that are changing people's lives, and we have an opportunity that is changing people's lives as well. And I know that we can help you out. And I know Jamie invited you on the call tonight so that we could go over your goals and that we can help you. And so I want to kind of go over what Plexus is and kind of go over some objections that some people have with Plexus. And I want to go ahead and do that. So the first thing is, Anne Marie, a lot of people ask, why is Plexus not FDA approved? It's one thing that people always ask. And I always tell them, no supplement is FDA approved. Fish oil is not FDA approved. Formula is not FDA approved. Any supplement that you purchase at a supplement store, nutrition store, is not FDA approved. But I will say what is FDA approved, if you watch any type of commercials on TV, if you don't TiVo past them, the medications that doctors are prescribing that are FDA approved have the most harsh side effects that you will see. And Plexus is not. It's natural. It's plant-based. We do not have harsh side effects. And so I'm honestly okay with our products not being FDA approved. So that's one thing, objection that we can just get right out of the way, and just tell you that our products are natural, and they have no harsh side effects. Another thing that people ask is Plexus expensive? Is it expensive? Well, it depends. For me, I would say no. The reason I say no is because I actually was spending $80 a month on antidepressants before Plexus. I was also spending $40 to $50 a month at Walgreens on Monostat for yeast infections, and about $60 a month on probiotics that didn't even work, and then probably about $40 a month on sleeping pills. So if you add all that up, I'm not a math genius, but that's close to $300 a month that I was spending on medication, probiotics, and Monostat for yeast infections. All 4 of those things I'm able to get off of. That's $300. And if you ask me, Plexus has saved me money, because I was able to get off of those prescription medications. So it just depends. Plexus is actually, if you break it down, our triplex combo is our most popular combo, which I will talk to you about in just a second. And if you break it down, it's $4 a day. And it's our most popular combo, and $4 a day, if you're able to, because you will be able to break your coffee, your once a day coffee habit. Maybe you're addicted to Coke. What is it, Anne-Marie, that you like to go have every day for energy? Is there something that you drink on a regular basis for energy or eat for energy?
Pre-Plexus, I was addicted to Chick-fil-A sweet tea, and I went through 8 gallons a week, and I became pre-diabetic.
Yeah, sweet tea from Chick-fil-A is like the worst. So much sugar. But guess what? The pink drink's going to help you. It's going to help stabilize your blood sugar, and so you're not going to crave that sugar anymore. So tell me, Anne-Marie, how much do you think you were spending on that sweet tea every week?
It was very expensive. I didn't even calculate. We don't do a budget. I kind of know like what goes in, and I kind of knew what needed to be there. And so anything else kind of went. So, well, it's honest.
I'm just conceptualizing.
And we found Dave Ramsey when we moved to Texas, and things have gotten so much better. Yeah.
$5, $4.
I'm just amazed
Well,
at
I
the
ended
8
up
gallons.
actually before I met Plexus, I ended up, because I was having all these health issues, I went to an all-natural doctor out in Spring, and just to see the guy, just to walk into this office, the insurance didn't cover it, so I was paying hundreds of dollars, which we could not afford because I didn't need that and that extra little money. And then the stuff that he gave me, like this stuff that tasted really, really disgusting, was $80 for this massive canister, and I needed like 4 different cans for 20 different things, and we couldn't afford that.
Oh my gosh. So you're telling me that you probably will save money on Plexus.
Oh, I did.
Good. Yes. All right. Well, there's that objection right there. Is it expensive? No, it's not. But I don't say it like that, y'all, in the mall. I promise. I'm a little different. And then the next thing is, how can I purchase Plexus? There's 3 ways. 3 ways to purchase Plexus. First way is retail. Raise your hand if, or I don't say this, or I just say, let me know, tell me, Anne-Marie, do you walk into a store, department store, grocery store, anywhere where you pay full price for anything? Do you want to pay full price for anything?
Never.
No, we don't want to pay full price for anything. We want a discount, okay? So retail, that's the first way, but no discount. So the second way is as a preferred customer. You do receive a discount, a 10% discount. So this is the second way you purchase as a customer. The cool thing about becoming a preferred customer is you get a 10% discount. Your order is going to auto ship to you every month, and you receive a 60-day money-back guarantee. There's nothing to lose. And so you can become a customer, a preferred customer, and get a discount. But, Anne-Marie, the very best way to purchase Plexus, the third way, is as an ambassador. It costs $34.95 for an annual website for an entire year. And I will say from personal experience, my website paid for itself within a week. 1 week it was paid for. So it's the best way to sign up. You can purchase a welcome pack at the deepest discount, either for $100, depending on the products that you're looking for, which is what we're going to go over, what products will be best for you, or for $199. So what I want to ask you, Anne-Marie, and what I want to talk to you about is the triplex combo is our #1 combo. It helps target blood sugar regulation, and it also helps target gut health. And I think from talking to you, I think that would be our best combination to start with. Do you think that those things could help you?
Yes.
Definitely. So awesome. So I will leave it up to Jamie. I want to answer your questions, any questions that you have. Do you have any questions about our products? Do you have any questions about our opportunity at all?
No.
So at this point of the call, I will end the call and I'll be like, it's amazing to have you on the call. Heather will usually offer a special. I'm just using Heather as an example because she does them all the time. She'll say, if you sign up tonight as an ambassador, I'll give you a free product, or I'll pay for your annual web fee, or whatever you want to do. But she'll offer an incentive on the call. And the last one that we did, which was a few weeks ago, she offered an incentive. We had 3 girls on the call. They all 3 signed up that night before 10 o'clock.
What was her incentive that she offered then?
Yeah, so like I would be like, okay, so Anne-Marie, thanks for joining in. Hey, I would love for you to join under the deepest discount possible. So if you join today, I'd love to offer you an additional $10 off if you join.
Yes.
So
I think she was doing $20 off the annual fee, so she wasn't making it free, which I don't ever recommend you doing it for free. The reason I don't is because they have to be investing in something, okay? So I don't ever pay for an annual fee because I think when you invest in something, you're more invested to it. So offer $20 off, and that's what they did. They were like, I want to take advantage of the $20 off. So tonight it's only going to be $14.95. They all 3 signed up. It was a no-brainer. And the reason, guys, it was so powerful is because of the way I said it. Because I gave them 3 options, okay? Retail, nobody wants to pay full price for anything. Preferred, you get a discount, 60-day money-back guarantee. But I emphasized the best way to sign up is to join our team. And another thing I told her, too, I told them on the call, is I talked to them about our team culture. I talked to them about how our culture is we help each other. We love each other. We have a team of support that's going to support you through this business. And we're going to do everything we can to support you and help you reach your goals. Okay? So I reiterate the opportunity. I don't ever, because 2 of the girls on the call were only interested. They told me at the beginning they were only interested in the products. They did not want to have anything to do with the opportunity. But I am offering them a disservice if I do not talk to them about our opportunity. Do you not agree?
yes.
You have to tell them about the opportunity. And because it's the way I said it and the way I approached it, I was very genuine. I said all 3 of their names throughout the entire call. I went back to their stories. It's super easy, though. You just have to be an active listener. And if you're not an active listener, you just have to practice. I haven't always been. And so I wrote everything down, and I was just genuine. And I told them what our team culture was about and that we pray. And thank goodness, they were all 3 Christians, you know. We had no atheists on the call. And so, you know, it worked. You know, and so it's what works for you. I don't know. They're very successful for our team.
Do you give them, how much information do you give them about the opportunity? Or do you just?
Not much. You don't have to give much. Like, I honestly think the more you give, I think they get like, oh God, I can't do this. This is too much. The more simple you make it, like that's all I do. I do the objections, and then I do the top 3 ways to pay. And then I honestly, I give them the floor from there. I let them ask questions.
I felt like if I weren't an ambassador already, I would have joined. I mean, just listening, I was like, no, you're right. I don't ever want to pay full price. And I was trying to be objective. If I were a new person, it would have changed my mind. I'd have been like, hey, yeah, sign me up right now, you know?
Yeah, it's true. And the thing is too, like if they get on the call, if there's 3 people on the call and they're only interested in the opportunity, well, that's how I'm going to do the call. I'm going to talk about the opportunity. I'll talk about the products, of course, but I am going to trigger that call to why they called in. They called in for the opportunity. So I'm going to, trust me, I'm going to jump on that train. We paid off our debt in a year and a half because of Plexus. I'm going to tell them that, you know what, I'm not going to tell them what I make because we're not allowed to, but I'm going to say I make 6 figures and I stay at home with my children. I don't miss one event. I don't miss one birthday party. I don't miss one sporting event. I don't miss picking them up from taking them to school or picking them up from school. And I make 6 figures. Who is that not going to impress? Yeah. Does it impress you? No, I'm just kidding. No, but I mean, seriously, you can say it, though, genuinely. Because I am very genuine when I talk to people. I don't tell them like that. I really don't. Y'all are probably like, oh, my God, I can't believe you. But I'm very genuine. I'm like, for one thing, I give God all the glory. Because if it weren't for him, I wouldn't even be in this position. And Plexus wouldn't even be in my life. And so, you know, I make it about them. And so if there's somebody on the call that's huge into like their church and missions, and so I talk to them about how we're able to give back more to our church, how we're saving up for a mission trip, our first mission trip, you know, and so I make the call about them. It's not about me, it's about them. And when you make it about them, I mean, it speaks to people, and it makes them want to, when you speak to someone's heart, it makes them want to join you, you know, period. You know, I think. You need to go. You can go. You need to go. Yeah. Love you. Thank you. Okay, thank you. My mother-in-law had to go. Anyways, so yeah, they work. They're effective. And I think the Zooms work so well. Don't y'all think it's better to like see people? I don't know why I think that's better.
Yes.
You can see the passion.
Yes.
Yes, to hear and see the passion.
You can hear the passion in their voice when you talk to someone, but if you can see it and hear it, I mean, that's using your 2 senses, then the phone call, and then of course the text and email is the
When
last.
you can see if you're talking to somebody and they're not quite understanding because of their body language, so you're like, okay, let me maybe explain this a different way.
Right. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I like the Zooms. And if you have somebody maybe that's a little older that doesn't have technology or can't get on a Zoom, then yeah, just 3-way call will work too. I mean, they're just as effective because we didn't even have Zooms a year ago. I mean, I didn't know what they were. We probably had them. I just didn't know what they were. But yeah, I mean, you can do a 3-way call if you're not comfortable with doing Zooms. But remember, it's all about getting out of your comfort zone. So, and that's one thing if you take away anything from this today, is do 1 or 2 things that'll get you out of your comfort zone, because it will tremendously help your business. And it'll help you as a leader too. And it'll help your team too. Yeah. Any more questions? Y'all are quiet.
Thank you so much for just being on here and rolling. I think it really helped to see it in action, to hear how you worded stuff. So thank you so much. And I recorded this so that I'll post it so we can rewatch it.
Yeah.
Because I knew kind of what she was going to talk about, and I know it's hard to process like a few days after we get back. So
yeah, awesome. Well, y'all have an awesome time. It was a pleasure being on with y'all. I believe in your team. You have amazing leaders that are genuine, and I know they care so much about y'all. I love Kim and Jamie so much. We have become such great friends, and they mean so much to me, and I'm just so grateful for them and their friendship and what they have taught me. And so I'm grateful for them as well. So you guys have a great time. Try to relax. Don't work too hard.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Bye, guys.